Before we start this video on multiplying terms in algebra, we're going to look at some of the rules of indices. Like in the last video where we had 1x, there's also a 1 here, the power that we don't see. And the rule for multiplying, we say x by x, and then we add the powers. So x to the power of 2, 1 and 1 is 2. Here's my invisible 1, x by x squared, which you're going to see a lot, should become language. X by x squared is x cubed. X by x cubed is x to the power of 4. X by x to the power of 4 is x to the power of 5 because we're adding this 1 and the 4. X squared by x squared is x to the power of 4. X cubed by x squared is x to the power of 5. And just one random x to the power of 100 by x to the power of 5 is x to the power of 105. So let's learn the language here that we need to do these questions. 5 multiplied by 3x. So all pluses. So the answer is going to be, I'm going to put a sign in here till we get used to them. Plus 5 by 3 is 15. And then we just have x. 3 by 4 is 12. And we just have an a. 6 by 3 is 18. And we have m squared. So there's no letters multiplying in these. But there is a number 4. 2x by 10x. 2 by 10 is 20. X by x is x squared. The 1 and the 1 that we add. 2 by 3 is 6. And then a times x is just a times x, or ax. 5 by 3 is 15. M to the power of 3 by this m to the power of 1 is m to the power of 4. So now we're introducing minuses. If we have two minuses here, one minus we can just have a minus, but if we have two minuses, we can actually make a plus sign. If we have four minuses, we can make two plus signs and so on. So the rule for multiplying in algebra is if we have 1, 3, 5 minuses, all odd numbers, it's a minus. And if we have even amount of minuses, 2, 4, 6, it will be a plus. So when might we have an odd number of minuses? Well, if we have minus x to the power of 7, that's going to be minus x to the power of 7. We'd have minus x by itself 7 times. So let's look at some of these. We have minus 5 by 3. So do the sign first. So it's a minus. Then we say 5 by 3 is 15. And we just have x. So sign, number, letter. The second one we have 1 minus. So it's a minus. 3 by 4 is 12. And we just have m. In the third one we have 2 minuses. So it's going to be a plus. Put your plus down. Then 6 by 4 is 24. And we have nothing multiplied by the m squared other than the two numbers. In number 4, we have 1 minus. So your brain, you're just looking and seeing 1 minus is a minus. 9 by 10 is 90. And this x to the power of 1 by x to the power of 1 is x to the power of 2. Number 5, we have 1 minus. 2 by 5 is 10. And a by x is ax. So 3 steps to each of these questions. Number 6, we have 1 minus, so the answer is a minus. 7 by 3 is 21. And m to the power of 2 by m to the power of 3 is m to the power of 5. In these questions, there are no minus signs. You can see by looking at all 6, so we're all pluses. The first one is xy by x. So we have x to the power of 1 by x to the power of 1. We do one letter at a time, is x squared. And then just y, or y to the power of 1. In this one, we're going to do the numbers first because we've no signs to take care of. We know they're all pluses. 3 by 4 is 12. So we're just looking at the numbers on their own. Then we go to a. There's no other a, so just a. And b by b is b squared. 6 by 3 is 18. M by m is m squared. And n by n is n squared. Number 4, we have 2 by 10 is 20. And x by x, you've heard it so many times now, x by x is x squared. 4 by 7 is 28. A by x is just a by x. 8 by 2 is 16. And m to the power of 3, again, by m to the power of 2 is m to the power of 5. When we have an initial glance at these questions, we have got minus signs. So we're going to think about signs. And number 1, we have 1 minus sign, this guy here. So we have a minus. 5 by 4 is 20, and now we only look at the letters at this point. We just have AB, so we can't do anything with those. Again, in number 2, we have a minus, just one of them. 2 by 4 is 8. We have this m to the power of 1 by m to the power of 1, but we're going to say m by m is m squared, and n by n is also n squared. So minus 8m squared n squared. Number 3, we have 1, 2 minus signs. We can put a plus down, but we don't need to. 6 by 4 is 24. This x by this x squared is x cubed. 1 and 2 is 3, and we just have the y on its own. Hopefully you're getting good at them at this point. So just because it's three brackets doesn't mean it's any more difficult. We have 1 minus sign, so you look at the signs. So let's look at m. We've m, we've m, and we've m. So 1 plus 1 plus 1. We have m to the power, well, I forgot the number. We have just the 10. And we have then m cubed, or m to the power 3. And how many n's? We have n to the power 1, n to the power 1, n to the power 2. Number 5, we have 1 minus sign, so it's a minus. We have 3 by 5 is 15. We have a by a squared. So that's my 1 and 2 is a to the power 3, or a cubed. And we have b by b squared, which is b to the power 3. In number 6, we have 1 minus sign. 12 fives are 60. Use your calculator if you're not sure. And we have a 2, m to the power 2 by m to the power 4. 2 and 4 is 6. When we look at these questions, we see no minus signs, so we don't need to worry about the signs for these ones. So no number in the first one, so just x to the power 2 by x to the power 3. If you don't know the rules, you'd probably write x to the power 6 because it's multiply, but the rule is we add the powers. 4 and 7 is 11. 5 and 10 is 15. 3 and 1 is 4. So it's all about how you think about them. 3 by 5 is 15. And a to the power of 1 by a to the power 2 is a by a squared is a cubed. And the last series of questions in this video. 5, we've no signs. I'm looking at them all. No minus signs. They're all pluses. So 5 by 2 is 10. X cubed by x squared is x to the power 5. The more of these that you practice like anything, you're going to get really good at them and they won't hold any fear. 4 by 3 is 12. And b to the power 5 by b to the power 3 is b to the power of 8. For this one here, most of the incorrect answers, when you don't know the rules, you might write 7. You see a 4 and a 3, but you're thinking multiply. So do not do this. 4 by 6 is 24. And y to the power 2 by y to the power 3, you're going to tell me is y to the power 5. This one here, we have x to the power of 1, 1 and 1. So we have x to the power of 3. In the last one, we have an x and an x. X by x is x squared. And y by y is y squared. So the answer is x squared, y squared. Hopefully you've mastered these by watching this video and practicing the questions.